Hi, everyone. Absolute pleasure to come and talk to you today about our automation journey at Travelodge. In this session, we'll just give you a bit of an overview as to who we are, how we're using automation, where we're seeing success, and how we partner with Centelli. So, quick introduction to myself. So my name's Martin Oswald. I'm Head of Ops Transformation at Travelodge, and I've worked at Travelodge now for 6.5 years. And my favorite thing about working at Travelodge is the company culture and our ability to be completely innovative in the way in which we work. No idea is too wacky when it comes to us at Travelodge. Before starting at Travelodge, worked in a number of different industries, from banking to insurance and catering. So who are we at Travelodge? So we've got over 600 hotels across the UK, Spain and Ireland. Many of you must be familiar with our brand, and some of you probably stayed in one of our hotels last night. And we've got over 13,000 wonderful colleagues that deliver our business every day for us. And we serve 22 million customers a year who come and stay in one of our Travelodge rooms. Quick interesting fact about us at Travelodge: we have about 4.5 million cleaning hours a year. And if one person was to do all of that cleaning, they'll be cleaning for 514 years straight. So it just shows the scale of the number of rooms that we sell and the number of hotels that we've got. Okay, so let's have a look at our automation vision. So when we started our journey, we started it because we recognized that we've got lots of processes that operate in isolation. We've got systems that don't talk to each other. But importantly, we also understood that our team's time was not always spent on the things that mattered most to our customers. And therefore, we really wanted to go about changing that. We also wanted to make sure that as we continue to grow as a business, that we are able to do that in a sustainable way, and that we don't have to keep investing costs into areas that are not adding value. And then also, as with any of us in this room, if we were to do the same thing over and over and over again, it would you'd make mistakes. And we certainly see that, and therefore those mistakes cost us money, and we want to stop that from happening as well. We've got quite a clear vision when it comes to automation. We're very customer and colleague centric when it comes to technology, and we also want to deliver an efficient operating model through the principle of more technology and less non-value add human effort, whilst also increasing our business intelligence and visibility of data as well. That's really important to us. Okay, so I wanted to start off with this slide because when we started our journey, we sort of took a step back and had a look at what is it that we would need to assume in order to make the program a success, and where do we believe that we're going to generate a return on investment. And we recognize as part of that we're not like a big corporate, we're not like a big bank that has supersized processes that you're able to go after. And therefore, the diversification of the way in which we realize benefits was really key to us. So we've now got automations running that reduce costs for us, that mitigate costs, that help us grow revenue. We've got a number of automations that support us in revenue growth and reducing third-party costs where it's unnecessary. So we've got automations that tick every single one of those boxes, and that's been really the key thing for us in creating a program that's going to be successful. And we're now in a place where we're really confident that we've got a multi-year program when it comes to intelligent automation. It will be within the business now as a permanent fixture, and we've got a very high level of confidence over our delivery over the coming years. So when we started this program, I was having a conversation with the board around the different options that we've got. Now, we could have set up a fully internal program, or we could partner with a third party. And in our case, we chose Centelli to do that. And the reason why we did that is because, again, when we looked back and thought, what would we need to believe to make this program a success? And the types of opportunity that we believe we had for automation, they weren't always straightforward. Some of them were quite complex, and we wanted to make sure that we could pull on specific resource to help us find the optimal solution for the problem that we're trying to solve or the process that we're trying to automate. And therefore, for us, working with a partner, in this case Centelli, was the right option for us. But equally, we understood the importance of setting up internal capability as well. And therefore, we established a team to build an internal brand, to go and identify processes, to work with the business owners to really work out and get those processes into good shape before we then hand them over to Centelli to automate. So this is how I've structured the team, the Travelodge team. So we've got an intelligent automation manager, Dave, who is here today. He manages the day-to-day program for me. We've got Wayne, who's our C&I manager, and he really works hard on setting up the right ways of working for our colleagues and making sure that the program governance runs as it should. And then we've got two brilliant analysts, Bridie and Holly, and they go out and spend time with the business owners, and they assess the processes. They make sure we're really clear on how we're going to deliver benefits from those processes, and they get them ready to be automated. So when I sort of knew I was going to be speaking today, I sort of took a step back and thought, what are the 4 things as a program? We're 12 months in, just over. What are the 4 things that I think has made the program a success so far? So the first thing is we really took time to ground ourselves in the current state of the business. We understood the business landscape. We understood what departments we've got, what volumes of departments sit where within the business, and how our colleagues are mapped across those and what level they operate at. And this has been particularly useful to both be able to demonstrate where we've got automation making a difference across the business, but also to help feed our pipeline and make sure we've got a bit of a logical way in which we work across the business to identify new opportunities. The second thing is establishing and understanding how you can build internal capability, particularly for us where we do the front part of the identification process before we hand over to Centelli. And as part of that, working really closely with the board to make sure they're fully engaged, as well as our IT teams and compliance to make sure we're not getting unnecessary red tape put in the way, and therefore we can move at pace. The third thing that we've had to do is be really agile in the way in which we work. When there's new opportunities that come through, sometimes they get prioritized above existing opportunities. And we've also taken a leap of faith. So if you're going to set up a new program, I'd really encourage you to take a leap of faith and to do that in a calculated way, but jump, because it will certainly move you faster in this space. And then the fourth thing is we thought really carefully about the first couple of automations that we were going to use as a business. We wanted something that demonstrated the breadth of benefits that can be delivered for our customers, colleagues, and also commercially. And we chose 2 automations that were very different from each other. And I spend a lot of time with my colleagues in the senior leadership team bringing to life every single automation that we deliver in order to be able to get them to start thinking about how they can use automation within their departments. So we really focus in heavily on that. The other thing that we've done is we've really created a cemented process, a conveyor belt, as I call it, in terms of how we take new opportunities right through to delivery. We've got a clear process around how we engage the business and how we feed our pipeline, how we assess and approve benefits, and then how we hand that over to Centelli to then start to build. And that's where the magic happens. It's my favorite part of the process because we get really into the depth of what it means to automate. And sometimes you turn up to those sessions and you think you've got a set of benefits in your head. And actually the benefits can be far greater with some of the ways in which Centelli innovate in terms of maximizing the potential of a process as we automate it. We then move into testing, and we don't like spending too much time in testing. So we make sure that the process that's been automated delivers what it was intended to do, and then we quite quickly push it live. And we do that then to manage all of the exception cases in the hypercare period. And we find that helps us in terms of the pace that we move at, and it's the best way to capture all of those exception and unique things that occur when you push an automation live. So in terms of where we're now on our journey, like I say, just over 12 months in, the next focus for us is to continue to build our pipeline of opportunity, continue to work with the business to build their understanding of the different types of automations that are available. And then we're also looking to launch the UiPath Automation Hub later on this year to help those our colleagues across the business self-triage opportunities so our team can be more focused on the delivery. And then finally, couldn't finish without giving a shout out to Centelli because it really works well as a partnership. And when I thought about why it's worked so well over the last 12 months, I think there's 4 things that really stand out. So the first is the additional value that they add. As I said, we had alternative options that we could have gone down when we started our journey, and the value that Centelli add and what they help us unlock has been excellent. The next thing is that they've really established trust across the business. This makes my job a whole lot easier because I don't have to worry about engaging with people around the why is it we're going to automate. We just go in and talk about the how. Talked a lot about creative thinking, and they certainly bring that to the table. And then we have really honest communication, which helps me set expectation internally and allows us to have real conversation around what it is that we're going to deliver. And that's the thing that's made all of the automations that we've landed to date a real success. So that's me, little whistle-stop tour of what we're doing at Travelodge. Hope that's been useful. Please come and speak to myself if you've got questions, or come and see Centelli over on their stand as well. Thanks very much.